The Coast Guard is intercepting even more of these vessels than ever before.
Yeah, and an important thing to note here, Nichole, the journey across these waters can be extremely dangerous. And the U.S. Coast Guard says they are seeing it happen more and more often, those numbers reaching some new highs as well. The U.S. Coast Guard has posted videos and pictures on Twitter. This one posted just a few days ago. Migrants trying to make their way to the U.S. on makeshift boats and rafts. The Coast Guard told me they are primarily seeing people from Cuba and Haiti. And when they are intercepted by the Coast Guard and eventually sent back, typically these men, women, and even children are in pretty bad shape.
People leaving Cuba are bringing their kids, they're bringing their animals, and they're coming on vessels that are not equipped with safety equipment or even just your basic life jacket. They're coming in very rustic makeshift vessels, and they are coming, and when we pick them up, they have symptoms of dehydration, they are hungry, they sometimes are even just looking for a fresh set of clothes, because unless they're able to maneuver themselves off the side to use a restroom, they're just not in great condition in that sense.
The number of Cubans they are seeing coming across has really shot up recently. Since October 2021, Coast Guard crews have stopped more than 5,000 Cubans in the water trying to make it to the U.S. That number is up roughly 2,000 in just the last month. And then compare that to last fiscal year, when the U.S. Coast Guard stopped roughly 800 Cubans. The year before that, just 49. The last time we saw numbers this high, Nichole, was in 2016. The Coast Guard tells NewsNation that it is meeting the increase with increase. They, along with their partner agencies like U.S. Border Patrol, have upped resources. U.S. Border Patrol tweeted just a few days ago that it has increased its presence in the water near the Keys. Now, in speaking with the Coast Guard today, they told me that sometimes smugglers are on board these boats and rafts. But really, what they see the most is men, women, and children making this dangerous journey without basic necessities or proper safety equipment. Now, I'm told that the situation here in Florida is not as overwhelming as what we are seeing at the U.S.-Mexico border. Still, the message here is clear. This is a dangerous journey, and the Coast Guard is taking this increase in numbers very seriously. Nichole?
Yeah, absolutely a dangerous journey. Brooke, thank you for that. Stick around. We're going to bring Robert Sherman back in here. So we have these two border reports today, two different situations, but not necessarily that different. Because, Robert, you gave us that snapshot. There is this large number of Cuban migrants coming into Texas.
What a lot of people don't realize, Nichole, is that when they think of the southern border, they think that it's mostly just Mexican, Guatemalan, Honduras, El Salvadorian. And yes, there are a lot of migrants from those countries of origin. The number 2 country of origin we've seen down here at the southern border, actually Cuban nationals. Now, the journey here, very different. What Brooke is talking about is what conjures up in many of our minds of Cubans trying to get to the United States on rafts and boats. But here, what you see is Cubans buying plane tickets to Nicaragua, where there's a visa agreement between the two countries, and then traveling by foot here to the U.S.-Mexico border. Some of the migrants who we've spoken to, Nichole, say that plane ticket from the island to the American mainland is $10,000, $12,000 per one-way ticket. So it just goes to show how expensive it is and how demanding it can be to get here to the mainland U.S., but then working your way to the U.S.-Mexico border.
Right. And Brooke, talk about what you're seeing there in Florida. How is this migrant crisis impacting Miami and then on a larger scale, the entire state of Florida?
Well, the situation here in South Florida, and like you said, Florida as a whole, is certainly different than what Robert Sherman is seeing over there in Texas and in those border communities. Because really, for the most part, what happens here is that these boats and rafts are intercepted at sea. So they are intercepted by the Coast Guard, and then those people are pretty immediately sent back. So they are not necessarily making it to the U.S. They're pretty much being intercepted before they even get here. And I will say, I think that is a big reason why you're seeing so many Cuban nationals over at the Mexico border. They are seeing that as an opportunity to get to the U.S. and then at least have some processing time. So definitely a different situation here in Florida than what we're seeing over at the U.S.-Mexico border. Still a very serious situation here as well.
Absolutely. Brooke, Robert, we thank you both. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.